inside for the last few hours doing emails and trying to keep working during lockdown, but it seems like a good idea to get outside, and we're going to do one of those chores that we tend to do at this time of year. We're going to try and rebuild our bug hotel. Need some new materials in. We're going to move the location. So when we talk about a bug hotel, we're talking about a refuge for insects, nothing too sophisticated. You can build it out of any materials you have. This section of the garden, we're going to put a new flower bed in here, so it should be full of nectar-bearing plants, and we have this little overshadowed area in the corner which doesn't get an awful lot of use. This seat's a little bit small for the children nowadays. The materials I'm going to use today are just what's lying around the garden. We've got some old bricks, some of which are broken, no longer really much use. And then we've got some sort of building blocks, the bedding and food base for the insects that are going to use as refuge. So we have dried leaves from under our beech hedge. We have some bits of pallet to break up and level up the different sections of the refuge. We've got some dried grass and straw. We've got some bamboo canes, which is sort of classic thing to see in an insect or bee hotel. And then we've got some bark cuttings and little wood chips, all useful building blocks for the hotel. Crucially, if you're going to build an artificial refuge, you need to think about a couple of things. You want a good solid base, so here we've bedded down the bricks, even though one or two of them are broken. We're not going to build very high, and going up high with something for insects, lots of insects go up, you know, as high as can be, but an awful lot of insects do like to be near the ground. So building only, you know, a foot off the ground and the absolute maximum is a good idea. Also makes it more stable. Our first section, just some bricks along the bottom, 2 bricks up the side, and then a whole load of bark. I'm just using a few pallet off cuttings to section off a level, and then we'll just put on 2 more bricks here to create a new layer. Right, and on this layer I'm going to use those grass cuttings and straw, pack those in nice and densely, and I'm going to get some of the leaves in here as well to get a nice mixture of material that can rot down over time. These will need to be refreshed every now and again. Now, obviously, remember, as you're refreshing things, you're going to be pulling out the insects that are using it. These refuges are just great places for the kids to interact. Your garden itself is a refuge, just leaving, you know, corners to go wild, making sure you've got lots of leaf litter, some grass cuttings, not heavily mulching down in the corner, just those little pockets that wildlife and insects can be in, because they're the pollinators, they're the things that are going to give you your veg beds, you know, at the best, and the flower beds at the best. To get to our final layer, we're just going to go for some of these these are coming from the previous refuge, some well broken down bamboo. These are great for things like solitary bees, other insects. We need to make sure they stay dry. These are getting a bit damp because the old refuge had lost its integrity a little bit. And then we can put a few more planks across the top and then weight it down. Just put the capper on at the moment, but oh look, Theo's turning up. So here you go, Theo, you're going to come see the bug hotel? So it's all rebuilt. Do you want to put the capping block on top? So this is just going to hold the roof on. It'd be good if you had a solid piece of wood here. I might find a replacement just to try and keep the top dry and stop moisture going down too much. Now nice and solid, and that's going to be there for another year or two before it needs a bit of topping off again. So something to do even in this awful weather. But no, I think we're going to build 2 or 3 of these around the garden. We need to find some more bricks is the next thing. We can build it all out of wood next time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. We'll try and keep these coming over the next few weeks. Thanks for joining in.